Alright, this is video 2 of the test loop. This will specifically be Twisty, which is sharp turns and blind hills. This road is going to be taken at different speeds. In fact, you'll see me speeding it up or slowing it down to give Autopilot the benefit of the doubt on this. Autopilot will slow down for corners, but for a road like this, it's not really designed for this, not yet. But it does show the progression of the development that Tesla is going through. So let's get started. And yes, I know, shaky camera. I'm going to get that fixed. Right here, it puts the brakes on pretty hard and throws an alarm. I take it out of Autopilot to swerve around what appears to be a branch or a leaf or something. I'm not sure if it was detecting that or if it was phantom braking. I had to take it out there as well. It was going a little close to the edge of the road. However, for this blind corner up over the top of the hill, it does a really good job of coming around to the right. Again, you'll see me changing the speed to something that I would normally take some of these curves at, or at least close to that. And it's doing a pretty good job when I'm kind of adjusting the speeds up and down to what's appropriate for the corners. This next section includes some blind hills and turns. In fact, it'll be this first one. It does a really good job over that. Turns a little bit sharp at the top of the hill, but stays within the lanes. And then we'll be coming over this next one where it's perfectly lined up, as you can see here at the top of the hill, and then it turns to the right a little bit. I think it did ride the white line a little bit there, so it didn't go off the road, but it was a little unusual that it was straight up over the top and then kind of moved to the right. It does great through this next section. Then we come up to another blind hill where it actually crosses over the double lines. Now I could see if there was oncoming traffic, so I let it kind of correct itself. I did not take over. It did do this correction on its own. I'm not exactly sure why it crossed the lines, but that's something to check with later revisions. It did great through this next section, and I wanted to highlight this 15-mile-an-hour corner coming up. I left the speed at 40 miles an hour. It slowed down on its own, and this is actually a very sharp turn, and it took it properly, stayed within the lanes, and then accelerated after the end of the turn. I did have to take over at this corner. It may have made the corner, but it was getting a little too close to the edge of the road, so we'll have to watch that in future versions. A similar situation happened in this turn here, where I felt it was getting a little too close to the double line. It continues to do great through this next section, though I did have to take over here to avoid something in the road. Okay, that's the Twisty portion of my test loop. As you can see, this road has a lot of sharp turns and blind hills and blind corners, which challenges Autopilot. I did have to take over a couple of times, and you would kind of expect that for these type of situations. On the next video, we will do some navigate on Autopilot.
Now take the Interstate 95 south ramp on the right.